Hello and welcome to Lebanon. It's the end of the line in World Cup qualifying for Syria and China here today. The Syrians set to bow out of the competition altogether and do so against the already qualified tournament hosts. But this is about far more than basketball, making this second qualifying stage already a remarkable achievement for a country that spent 7 years at war. Sport has brought people together again here for one last time in this campaign at the Nuhad Norfolk Sports Complex. And here's the final game of the 6th and final window of the new FIBA international calendar for these two. And the rest of the Group E action concludes after this first game with plenty still to be decided. Jordan's World Cup place is in their own hands, but only if they can hand New Zealand just their second defeat of the whole campaign. Otherwise, they're relying on an already qualified Korea winning at Lebanon. It will be a nerve-shredding final day in this group. New Zealand and Korea already qualified from Group E. It leaves Jordan and Lebanon fighting for the third spot. Whichever of those misses out will hope to be the best fourth-place team across the two groups, given that China's position in the standings doesn't count, as they're already qualified as tournament hosts. Syria cut adrift at the bottom of the pack. China being introduced first, fourth in Group E, as we've seen, although their finishing position not an issue for them. It's performance and player development that are more significant. They're 6 and 5 altogether in qualifying, but they have won 3 out of 5 in the second stage. They started with a narrow defeat to Lebanon before winning 3 straight, including the 49-point win over today's opponent, Syria. But that run came to an end on Friday, losing by 24 in Jordan, 86-62. As for Syria being introduced now, after coming through the first stage, they're bottom of this second stage group, 2 and 9 overall, 4 wins adrift of the top 4. Their only wins coming against India back in the first stage. They've lost 6 straight since then by an average margin of 33 points. The 13-point loss here to Korea on Friday is the closest they've come to anyone in the second stage. That one finished 74-87. Such an accomplishment to reach this second stage already for a war-torn nation that has never competed at the World Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthems. First, the anthem of China. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Syria.
The Syrian Basketball Federation had some clearly defined targets in this campaign. Going this far was one of them, keeping basketball alive in their war-torn country, and ultimately lifting spirits was another. And there's one final World Cup qualifier to play before they turn their attentions to other matters. On the agenda next, playing some games at home in Syria and developing their senior staff and players, as well as developing the game at a grassroots level to get more men and women involved with what's been a very bright project in an otherwise dark period of this nation's history. The two sets of players going through their final warm-ups ahead of this one, and we'll take a look at the two teams here for Syria against China. And for China, look to the number 15, Zhou Qi, their superstar centre, a big double-double on his qualifiers debut in Jordan on Friday, 19 points and 10 rebounds, 6 of those on the offensive glass. And we see their starting five, and Zhou Qi gets the start. Also look to the number 23, Abu Durexity Abu Dushalamu, who's averaged an impressive 11.9 points, 6.9 rebounds across 7 previous appearances in this campaign. And now the Syrian roster. The number 9, Tarek Al-Jabi, Syria's biggest scoring threat throughout this campaign, 11 points per game on average. Abdul Wahab Al-Hamwi, the number 12, is their giant centre, 2 meters 20, 7'3" tall. He gets the start as well, so watch out for him colliding with Zhou Qi. He's averaging 9.6 points and team highs of 7.8 rebounds and 2.1 blocks per game in this campaign. China led here by Li Nan, represented his country at 4 different Olympic Games as a small forward back in his playing days, as well as winning the Asian Championships in 1998 and 2006. And Vasilin Matic is the Serbian head coach of Syria. He coached the Iranian national team from 2009 to 2012. Lebanon after that, took over on the Syrian bench in 2017. China have managed 6 wins in this competition to Syria's 2, and the stats show the huge disparity between the two sides. China averaging 83.1 points per game, Syria just 66.7. The second weakest offensive output in Asia. China shooting 48% from the field, Syria a continent low 36%. The Chinese are traditionally big on the inside, knocking down 56% from 2-point range. Only Australia can better that, but Syria do have an edge in rebounding. They're averaging a continent high 17 offensive rebounds a game, 4.5 more than today's opponents. They'll need to make the most of those second chance scoring opportunities in this one here today. They'll also need to protect the ball with maximum focus to cut down their 14.8 turnover average if they're to give themselves a chance of going out on a major high. The drama in this group, of course, is to come later on. The other 2 games taking place at the same time, almost running concurrently alongside each other. And of course, it may well be that one finishes sooner than the other, and the other team will know what they have to do. Jordan know a win will put them through into the World Cup finals as the 3rd place team in this group. And if they can't beat New Zealand, then they have to hope that Lebanon lose to Korea. China will be at the World Cup finals for the 9th time, of course, as tournament hosts this year. And they're returning after not qualifying for Spain in 2014. Their best overall finish coming in Canada in 1994 when they placed 8th. They were also 9th in Japan in 2006 and in Spain in 1986.
Starting five for Team Syria, number 8 Majd Harbasha, number 12 Abdul Wahab Al-Hamwi, number 14 William Al-Haddad, number 15 Hani Habib, and number 21 Omar Shafar.
يلا 1 2 3 سوريا يلا شباب بريفي والله شوي لما نخشوا
China by far and away the kings of the continent in Asia, 16-time Asian champions, including on home soil in Changsha in 2015, although they only placed 5th at the 2017 tournament in Beirut. And they've won continental honours 11 more times than Philippines, who sits 2nd in the medal table, so way out in front as the dominant force in Asia. And that's an illustration of the size of the task that confronts Syria here today. It would be a major upset given they lost by 49 points when these two met each other previously. Syria ranked 90th in the world, China ranking 60 places above them. The hosts here looking to finish on the ultimate tie of a win, the hosts for the tournament finals themselves with one more game before business really starts to pick up. And the referee needing to be picked up early on in this one. China start with the ball then, moving across to the far side. Chao Rui, another key player for them, the number 10, back out to Zhou Qi, and the centre who misses the outside shot. And Syria bring the ball down the floor swiftly. Al-Haddad. He shifts it off to Harbasha. Harbasha into the lane, attacking Zhou Qi and getting rejected. Zhou Qi lets Syria know he's there straight away. Only 40 seconds on the clock. Syria get an offensive rebound though after the inbound pass. Adrib. They'll go again here with still 7 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Harbasha. Twisting and turning and trying to find some space. Al-Hamwi put it up in desperation. And now here come China. Chao Rui, the 23-year-old who had a team-high 20 points on Friday. To Shalamu handing it off. Another 3 for China. Another one off the mark. Looking to bulldoze his way through into the paint, but getting stripped to the ball was Al-Haddad. Wu Qian over the head. Here he goes again. Zhou Qi this time nails it. A double-double in Jordan on Friday. He was only 1 of 9 from downtown in that one, though. Despite shooting 8 of 12 on the inside, he was 0 of 5 from the foul line as well, so it wasn't all perfect, but he's been perfect defensively so far in this one as he blocks off Syria again. And the runner off the mark for Abdou Shalamu. Al-Haddad. They'll take on the long 2, and Syria up and running. And the swish from Al-Hamwi. And their big centre responds to the challenge laid out by Zhou Qi. Chen Lianjian driving inside and getting it to go over the top of the 2 meters 20 centre Al-Hamwi. Adrib across to Al-Haddad. Around the screen of Al-Hamwi. They'll take on a 3-point shot off the mark. Big offensive rebound again from their big man. He's been crowded out in the paint. Might just grab it one more time. China come away with it. And a foul. There have been some moments of positivity through these first 3 minutes and 7 seconds for Syria. But they trail by 3 points. And that was the first foul of this one on the home team. Quick turnaround, catch and release for 3 off the mark for Wu Qian. And they keep on putting up 3-pointers, China. They've only hit 1 of them. Al Hamwi hands it off on the perimeter. Harbasha meandering into the lane. Across to the far side, three-pointer over the top of the basket by Adrib. China looking to pour down the floor quickly. And a foul, the second on Syria. Wu Qian slicing into the lane. One of China's key players in this campaign, 9.6 points, 3.4 assists, 1.3 steals per game. Then qualifying for the number 33. Zhou Qi steps back and takes on another outside shot. An offensive rebound from Xiao Rui. He creates space on the perimeter and misses from downtown as well. Rebound grabbed by Omar Sheikh Ali. Quick release down the floor. Harbasha. Al Haddad. Al Haddad gets it back. Sewing things together for Syria right now, and he finds a teammate. Sheikh Ali hits from the outside, Syria level. And they've kept up with China over the first 4.5 minutes. Blocked off by Al Haddad as well, and an offensive foul against China, scrambling to try and recover the loose ball. And the number 14 for Syria, William Al Haddad, has only averaged 3.3 points. 2.9 boards, 2.8 assists so far, but he had 8 points, 4 assists and a steal in the defeat to Korea 2 days ago, and he's started very brightly again in this one. Sheikh Ali, who hit that three-pointer a few seconds ago, trying to edge his way inside against Chen Lianjian, drawing China's first foul, in fact their second, I beg your pardon, after that offensive foul. Harbasha into Al Hamwi. Al Hamwi backing in against Zhou Qi. Al Hamwi twisting and turning and finishing. And toasting his opposite centre. There's the drive into the lane, and he's there on defence as well, Al Hamwi. The big stop after the big finish. And now in transition, the three. Syria catching fire. Harbasha from downtown. They lead China by 5 points. They've scored 8 without reply. Abdul Wahab Al Hamwi, the man who has sparked them into life here in this first quarter. A finish against Zhou Qi down one end before that rejection. And it led to the fast break finish from downtown for Harbasha. An 8-0 Syria run. They lead China by 5 points here.
Joe, they're going under the pick and roll.
Three-point shooting has been a crucial factor in these opening minutes. 2 of 4 from downtown. Syria now to open up this lead. China just 1 of 6 from the outside. That early one from Zhou Qi. Across the midway point to the first. Syria leading by 5. China with the ball. Yu Dihao. Bounce pass into Zhou Qi. Up against Al Hamwi. Can he find a way over the top of him? Al Hamwi comes out on top in that battle as well and looks to play the role of quarterback too. He was just about tipped beyond the baseline. Al Hamwi. Giant frame of his, looking to get in the way and manufacture some room for his teammate. Al Hamwi puts it up from way outside and it's way short. It shows how much he'd been feeling it though. For such a giant, he has been shooting a pretty poor percentage from the field through the course of the campaign, just 37%. Oh, look at that from Zhou Qi, crowning the 7'3", 2 meters 20 center. How about that for some payback? Zhou Qi over the top of the giant. A chance to complete the three-point play, and China emphatically back in business. They get the offensive rebound off that as well. It could ultimately turn into more than a three-point play when it's all said and done. They'll put it up towards the end of the shot clock buzzer, batted back out again. And Syria battle away to get the defensive stop. They did commit the foul though, Syria, in fact. No, that's gone off and back on China. We saw it show up at the bottom of your picture briefly on Syria. In fact, it's on you of China, so 3 on each team now. 3.5 minutes to play here in the first. Al-Haddad. Harbasha. Al-Haddad stepping inside, back out. Harbasha will heave the 3. In and out. A battle on the boards again. Who's going to come up with it? It's Syrian ball. Into the game comes Liu Zhizhuan. Al-Haddad out to Harbasha. Al-Hamwi. He's going to take on the long range too. Al-Hamwi misses another from further away. Better off doing his damage on the inside. And a really good effort to get back on transition defense from Sheikh Ali and disrupt that passing lane. Syria scrapping to try and keep their noses in front here. Both teams struggling to shoot the ball too well. Che Xiao Chuan. Now Fang Shu crosses over, loses it on the dribble, picked off by Harbasha, who dances all the way through, and Syria back up by 5. China now looking to force the ball quickly down the floor. Zhou Qi threatens the 3, steps inside, dishes it off, gets it back. And it's just not running smoothly for China right now. The turnover from Fang Shu. Zhou Qi careful not to commit the unsportsmanlike foul. The 3rd turnover in this first quarter. Sheikh Ali. Al-Haddad gets the defense up in the air, cool and composed on the edge of the paint, and Syria's lead up to 7. Largest of the game. First score of the game for Al-Haddad. Fang Shu on the left-hand dribble drive, kicks it back out. Looking for options on the perimeter. Che Xiao Chuan takes it inside instead, disrupted, and here they come again. Harbasha leading the fast break. High off the window, it wouldn't fall for Al-Haddad, but he got contact on his route to the rim. Tried to take the defense away by faking the pass back to Harbasha, but the defense not biting until the mid-air foul. The 4th on China in this first quarter. Neither of these teams have shot the ball too well from the foul line through this campaign. Terrific Salah there, set to come in for Syria. Al-Haddad missed the first, but hits the second, and the lead is up to 8 points. Al-Hamwi goes out, he's been heavily involved. He'll be on a couple of highlight reel plays already. 1 for him, 1 against him. The bounce pass to the man on the baseline, put in by Fu Ha with the contact, a chance at a 3-point play as China look to close the gap before the end of this quarter. And just what they needed. They've struggled to score. It's a 5-point gap now. Across to the far side, tipped out of bounds in the end by China, the pass from Al Haddad. Final minute and a half of this first quarter. Syria 15, China 10. Mokhtar Basha's been a spark plug for Syria. Adrib twisting and turning down the baseline, but called for a travel, twisting and turning too much. Blocked off by the China bigs on the inside. Yu. Fang Shu. It opens up for him to shoot the three, but there was an offensive foul against China. So China at the foul limit for the quarter, but Syria will not shoot free throws off an offensive foul, only fouls from the Chinese defense. Can they stretch their 5-point lead? It's been as many as 8. Screen set on the perimeter. Al Jabi edging his way into the paint and fronting one in from the foul line. Quick release down the floor here to Che. Caught under the basket. Can he find a way out? No, he can't. Turned over to Salah. And a foul on China that will send Syria to the stripe and a chance to open up the largest lead so far. A foul on Yu Dehao. And a quick pass down the floor to Tarek Al Jabi. And he gets to the line. A third foul on Yu already. Chao Rui comes back in. One of China's key players, averaging 13 points and 3.7 rebounds when he's played, although he's not played a great deal in this campaign. That ties the largest lead so far. And that's all it will be. Chinese possession, 8 points, the Syrian lead, 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It's been a really poor first quarter for China, just 10 points in over 9 minutes. Can they finish it with a silver lining? Stop and pop mid-range J will drop for Chao Rui. Back on court and back with a bang to close the gap to 6 points. Just a few seconds differential between shot clock and game clock at the end of this period. High screen comes from Salah. The burst around it from Al-Osh. The outside shot for Syria won't go down. China looking to turn up the intensity here. 3 seconds to release the shot. On the run from downtown, wide of the mark by Fang Shu, and that will do it for a fascinating first. China struggling against Syria here in Lebanon. Syria leading 18-12 at the end of one. It's a lead which has been as many as 8 points on a couple of occasions. It ends the quarter at 6.
World. FIBA Basketball World Cup is right here. You want it? Come and get it.
And China, of course, will be there as the host nation. Already qualified, but Syria will bow out of qualification here tonight and hoping to do so on a real high, leading by 6 points in this one. Thoroughly deserved. China started well. They were up 5-2. And then came an 8-0 Syria run to open up a bit of a gap. Al Hamwi superb on the inside early on, and then on defense, igniting a fast break transition 3. But how about the play of the game so far from Zhou Qi over the top of Al Hamwi? Al-Basha with some tenacious defense leading to the open floor on offense. Al-Haddad has been pulling the strings. That is only field goals so far, but heavily involved. And a 3-point play for Fu Hao when China desperately needed something, but Syria kept on coming at them. Tarek Al-Jabi floating one home before China closed the gap to 6 points from 8 at the end of the first. Here we go then, Syria 18, China 12, start of the second quarter. And the home team start with the ball. Sheikh Ali, and a foul straight away on Liu Zhixuan. China over the foul limit in the first quarter and foul after just 10 seconds of the second. Salah using that pivot foot to try and find some room, step to the side of the defense and hit it. Syria's lead back up to 8. Fang Shu to Chao Rui. Left-hand dribble drive, looking to slice all the way through, throws it overhead, misses it, rebound grab by Corey. A stop and pop, long range 2, won't go off the hop. The tip though almost went down from Sheikh Ali, and there was a whistle. Not the start that he was looking for to this second quarter, Coach Li Nan. Prodded away again. That's tight, tenacious defense from Syria. Cut adrift at the bottom of this group, but you would not know it. They are battling for one last win. Tarek Al-Jabi all over Chao Rui. Taking a big hit down to the deck as well. We've got a technical call by the looks of it. And Chao Rui, who was the victim of that mugging at centre court. Omar Sheikh Ali will shoot the foul shot to try and open up the largest lead of the game so far. 9 points, the margin. And Syria have possession as well. After Al-Jabi's intervention. Alosh. Salah. And there's an offensive foul against Al-Jabi trying to make his way around the perimeter. Bumped into the Chinese defense. Trying to battle past them. Three fouls on China already, 2 on Syria. We've only played just over a minute of this quarter. Zhou Qi turning and scoring. Such an advantage in terms of his length and ability on the inside, taking on everybody. Here come China as well off the turnover. Liu all the way through. 4 quick-fire points. China up and running again. Thanks to the fast break running of Liu Zhixuan. 5 points the gap from 9 down. Al-Jabi edging his way into the elbow, floating it off the window, missing. Grabbing his own rebound though as well. Here's Corey. He gets a good look at the basket and makes it count. Wu Qian. Fang Shu to put up the outside shot, fouled in the act of shooting from downtown, so 3 free throws for him. He's only shot 28% from the outside in this campaign. It's the 3rd foul on Syria, so both teams on 3 already here in the second. Fang Shu averaging 5.2 points, 2.6 assists and 1 steal per game over 5 previous qualifier appearances. As I say, not shooting the ball too well from the field though. He's making no mistake from the line. Well, he does make a mistake. He misses the 3rd one. Although battling on the boards, trying to get possession. It's tipped out of bounds by Syria. Wu Qian. 5 points the gap. They can make it a single-digit game, a single possession game, I should say, rather. With a score here, Fang Shu. And Syria trying to keep China at bay. His team up to 4 fouls now for the second. We've only played 2.5 minutes of it. So for the next 7.5 minutes, all the way through until halftime, any fouls from the Chinese defense will send the Syrian offense to the foul line, shooting foul or not. China have closed the gap, but they're in foul trouble. Corey turning it over. China an opportunity in transition again. The 3-point shot. Liu makes it a 1-possession game from 9 down. (23-21). Nori. Across to the far side it goes. They'll take the outside shot to try and respond. Big offensive rebound grab by Salah. And a fresh 14 seconds on the shot clock for Syria. Alosh. Well, the high entry pass that was just beyond and behind Sheikh Ali as they turn it over again. A series of turnovers now. Both teams have 7, but a bunch of Syrias have come over the last couple of minutes. And they've come at a cost as well, because China, in almost no time at all, back from 9 down and now with a chance to tie or take the lead. Especially with this man on court, Zhou Qi. Fakes the pass back out and goes alone inside, misses, trying to grab the loose ball. Like it was magnetized to his hands, and he gets fouled. Three players looking to suffocate him right under the hoop. One of them, Al-Hamwi. He fights his way through and gets a chance to shoot the foul shots, Zhou Qi. And gets a chance to tie China level. NBA experience recently with the Houston Rockets. Back playing in China now this season. He's playing for China in this window at a major event for the first time since the 2016 Asia Champions Cup. 23-23. 9 points for Zhou Qi now. Alosh taking it from a couple of feet back, so close to nailing it. Another rebound for Zhou Qi as well. And he's looking to run the floor. The big man hands it off for the outside shot. China ahead and on the charge. From 9 down they lead. Wu Qian from the outside. He's had a couple of three-pointers on average a game. At 39% accuracy through the course of this campaign, the perfect man to lodge that dagger into Syria.
Hold. 5 side is a zone. Fast. Boom, boom. Running. We have a corner and ready for a shot. Nadim for Omar. Are you ready? We are coming. You know, they make a 10-0 for a nothing. Because there's some press and you can do anything. And you are not give them a ball. We are shooting fucking shot. Shoot real shot. And then take the ball.
Our apologies if you picked up any unsavoury language in the timeouts. Of course, such a passionate set of players and coaching staff, and especially Syria desperate just to celebrate a win, to really put the icing on what has been a wonderful campaign for them to reach the second stage. And to play on a regular basis has been key for the sport in Syria. Greater exposure for these players and this team, and for the sport in general amongst the Syrian public. Al Haddad, all the good things that they were doing not too long ago seem to have withered away. Can they get back in life? No, they can't. A turnover. And some travelling Chinese fans happy with the performance in this second quarter. It's only taken them a couple of minutes to come from 9 down to lead by 3. And there's a look at the turnovers I was talking about. 6 turnovers for Syria in this quarter. Just 1 for China. So although the turnover count is pretty even overall, not in the second. That's been the downfall for Syria. An offensive rebound for China as well. Cut down the baseline, passing lane blocked off by the big wingspan of Al-Hamwi. There's Al-Jabi. Midway point of the second, back to Al Haddad. They'll have to play in the half court. Adrib onto Al Haddad. Again, they have to heave one from distance, contested and static. Something Coach Matic was talking about in that timeout. Only 2 of 10 from downtown. They've actually missed their last 6 in a row now, though. Zhou Qi takes on the long 2 with the giant flying out to close him down, but he didn't blink. Double figures already for Zhou Qi. He's well on course for another double-double. 5 rebounds as well. Emotions running high on the Syrian bench. And they will get to the foul line, though, to try and stop the rot. Trailing by 5 points now. They haven't scored for some time, Syria. And they still haven't. They were at 23-16 at 8 minutes and 7 seconds in this quarter, so almost 4 minutes without a single point before that one from the stripe. And it was a 12-0 Chinese run that has just been stopped. They'll try and spark another here. Zhou Qi driving inside down the baseline, picked up on the offensive glass though and put back in by Abdou Shalamu. China by 6 is their largest lead. Al-Jabi With Al-Hamwi setting the screen in the high post, he moves back inside to post up against Zhou Qi. They kick it back to the outside. Shot clock winding down. Off the mark at the end of the shot clock. Grabbed on the offensive glass again, and a foul on Zhou Qi. Hani Adrib grabbing that one and giving them the opportunity despite the tough miss at the end of the shot clock buzzer. A couple of offensive rebounds before getting bumped. He had a big performance here in Friday's defeat. He was 6 of 10 from the field for 13 points, as well as poking away 2 steals. And that's his first point of this one. He's averaged 5.6 through the campaign. Misses the second. Syria just 5 of 9 from the line. Fang Shu hands it off inside to Zhou Qi, and he gets fouled. Putting the ball on the floor and attacking Al-Hamwi, and the help defense coming across and flying high from Adrib, and he catches Zhou Qi on the way down. A chance for Zhou Qi to add to his 11 points and 6 rebounds, 2 blocks and a steal already. That's not a bad end of game stat line. China are 6 of 8 from the line, with one more attempt to come here. No mistake from Zhou Qi. Make it 13 points for him, and around 14.5 minutes on court. Final 3 minutes of the first half to come. China by 7. Al Jabi around the high screen of Adrib, blocked off by the presence of Zhou Qi. Adrib comes out to set a screen of his own, floated from deep off the mark. China can run the floor now. Abdou Shalamu skipping through the defense off the window, grabs his own rebound and put in at the second attempt. China keep on coming up big on the offensive glass and getting those second chance opportunities. That was their 9th offensive rebound. They only averaged 12.5 a game. All batted away by Zhou Qi. His 3rd block already. Still a chance to score for Syria, and it will still be their possession. Chao Rui to come back in with China up by 9. It ties the overall largest lead of this first half. Syria led by 9 earlier in this quarter. And now, only 6 minutes or so later, they're just trying to stay in the fight before half-time. Al-Haddad, that's a nice pass, and the finish from Salah, making his cut into the paint. 7 points the gap, the first field goal in what seems like an eternity for Syria. It's the first field goal in over 6 minutes, in fact. Threatening the 3 on the corner, stepping inside is Chen. Off the mark, another offensive rebound. They just can't protect their own backboard right now, Syria. They get let off the hook that time. Al-Haddad quickly down the floor. They're looking for back-to-back scores here. Adrib. Al-Haddad. A 9:22 quarter in China's favour. Lovely footwork from Tofak Salah, turning the paint into a dance floor. Back-to-back field goals. Syria back in business, trailing by 5. High entry pass. Easily cut off. They have to protect the ball here and not turn it over. Nice crossover to drive the baseline as well. The finish was wild, but he grabs his own rebound, Al Jabi. And the outside shot wouldn't go down for Salah. And now they need to hurry back in transition again. Chen Lianjian. That one won't drop either down the baseline under the hoop on the reverse. Grabbed though by Abdou Shalamu, another second chance opportunity for China. Syria being made to work overtime on defense here. High to Zhou Qi, puts it on the floor, and he'll try and put it into the basket, and does with the contact. Bouncing and bundling his way past the defense. Shaking off the attentions of two. And then getting hit by a third. China up by 7, a chance to stretch that to 8 here with 31 seconds of the second quarter to play. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks and a steal in 17 minutes for Zhou Qi. You can tag one more point onto that stat line. Fu Ha comes in. 21-year-old making just his second appearance of the campaign. 6 points and a steal in 13 minutes on his debut. 7-second differential between shot and game clock at the end of the first half. Al Jabi. Directing traffic here as Al Haddad comes across to take it. The high screen set. Now it's the energetic Basha into the lane, floating one up on the run, and he got fouled, so he'll go to the line for 2. Magtar Basha. Friday was his first appearance in this campaign. He scored 5 points and grabbed a couple of rebounds in 11 minutes on court, but he's been very positive in this one as well, justifying his inclusion. He's got 5 points and 2 steals in 12.5 minutes already. And he'll go to the foul line for a chance to add 2 more points.
那个萨拉姆你去发球，29，大副你待在这儿啊，赵睿，29，移动接应，大副上来，两个人去快下，打一个位10秒钟，我要到最后，可以上篮可以投篮，我要到最后啊，千万不要去给我提前抢，再给他一次机会，另外一个不要乱犯规，出来就可以投没关系，放开点。
شو بحجم العاده يعني؟
اوصل خضيره يلا يا
3, everybody run, everybody man.
An 8-point Chinese lead, but a chance for Syria here to cut it by a couple. That was a lovely move, wasn't it, from Tofak Salah up against Zhou Qi, skipping one way and then the other, twisting and turning, and scoring a vital field goal to try and keep Syria in touch. Al-Basha's positivity after that rewarded with a trip to the foul line. 10.7 seconds remaining in this first half, so ample time for China to come up with one final score before the half is through. Al-Basha hits. Now they have to dig in one more time on defense. Charoui racing away down the floor, and there's a whistle with, well, the clock hasn't started again. It may well be just to do with the timekeeping. 10.7 still showing. It's a 6-point differential. Syria 31, China 37. And China were looking for a quick finish to the second quarter. The officials having to put the brakes on it. They're putting the time down to 6.5 seconds. Abdou Shalamu will inbound it to Charoui. Looking to get it back. It skips past him into the corner. Stepping inside, getting a little look at the basket, but not a good one. And missing the shot was Chen Lianjian. So a positive finish to the second for Syria, when it looked like China were going to pull away and open up a double-digit advantage. Syria able to get a couple of defensive stops, a couple of foul shots, and close the gap to 6 points, and then stop China at the buzzer. Syria 31, China 37 at the half. When you consider that these two were separated by 49 points in the reverse meeting, this has been a pretty good first 20 minutes for Syria. Although they will feel that they let it slip, perhaps, having led by as many as 9 points themselves. China, in the space of 6 minutes, overturned that and went up by 9 of their own. But the margin is 6 at the break. China shooting the better percentage inside, 43%, and on the outside 30%. One more rebound. Syria have grabbed 12 offensive rebounds to China's 10. Both well above their average through the campaign in that regard. And the 3 Chinese blocks all coming from Zhou Qi, who's got a standout stat line already. Let's take a look back at some of the best moments of that first half. And Syria with a big run off the back of a 5-2 Chinese start. Syria scored the next 8 points without reply. Ilham Wei on offense and on defense. But then how about this as payback from Zhou Qi over the top of the giant. Maktar Basha, a couple of steals in a positive half for him, as well as 7 points. Plenty of energy from his teammate William Al-Haddad as well on just his second appearance. And Syria opening up that 9-point edge, but China responded. Charoui draining that one. Syria led by the 7 points of Al-Basha, have got 6 from Salah, including that one there. But China led by the monster stat line of their monster centre, Zhou Qi. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks and a steal for him so far. They've also got 5 points from their number 11, Liu Jiuquan. And they've got 6 rebounds from Abdu Shalamu, including 5 on the offensive glass has been key for a number of second chance opportunities for them to keep up with the offensive rebounding of Syria and to open up this little bit of breathing room at the half. They lead by 6. Syria 31, China 37. Do join us for the second half in around 10 minutes' time. Welcome back to Lebanon, where we've got a really fascinating second half to come for you, because Syria, who lost by 49 points when these two last met, only trailing by 6 points here. A home game for them, although played across the border in Lebanon. And they led by 9 points at the start of the second quarter before China turned it up a notch or two, and actually went up by 9 points themselves before finishing the second quarter leading by 6. Syria went over 6 minutes without scoring a field goal as China turned the game on its head. Still time for Syria to turn the tide back in their favour. And they're battling against the ever-impressive Zhou Qi, though. He's got 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks and a steal in 17 minutes on court. He's 5 of 10 from the field, 5 of 6 from the foul line. Syria led by the 7 points of Magd Harbasha on just his second appearance in this campaign, including a couple of foul shots in the final seconds of that second quarter to cut the deficit down from 8 to 6 and provide a little bit more optimism for Syria heading in towards this third quarter. They got a defensive stop at the buzzer as well. And they've also had 6 points from Tofak Salah off the bench, 3 of 3 shooting.
But on the screen, looking there. That is the one. What you are not understand what I told. If you miss and then penetration happens, if you center here, come behind him, give him a ball and run behind him on the handoff and play again. And this time, when you are in a good situation, look what you can do.
Number 15 on 2 fouls. If you get 2 fouls, it is corner from him.
还打这个，周琦你还在上面，一样吧？这个地方你要提前摆脱一下，你要提前摆脱一下。他明显没有了，回头没有了，传事，现在没有，最后一个他回头应该在这儿接球，对不对？4、5回头把他带过来，他到这儿回头接球，给了他没有运出来，传到这一侧，周琦上来我要挡拆，我要挡拆，哇，前面有机会可以投，没有了顺势可以突破。这个人上来，你在下面啊，你在下面，还有谁？这边你在上面。不，吴谦在这儿，支援在这儿，支援在这儿，你在这边，支援在这儿，你在这儿，刘健你在这儿，我给完球我牵着，哇，行，别急，篮板球啊，篮板球，我喊3次传球就是连防灭3次，加油啊！加油！
A slight difference in the shooting percentages is the main reason China are ahead here. They've shot 43.5% on the inside. Syria at 37.5%. China 30% from downtown. Syria just 18%. Syria actually took a couple of extra field goal attempts to China in that first 20 minutes, but China's accuracy meaning they open up a 6-point lead despite having 3 more turnovers and 2 fewer offensive rebounds. And now they're up by 8, dancing down the baseline for the finish. What a great start for China and for Chen at the start of the third quarter. Al-Jabi. Al-Haddad trying to burst under the basket himself, finishing on the reverse, but just falling short. Here goes Wu Qian, looking to open up the first double-digit lead of the game. 3-point shot. Chen Lianjian wouldn't go down. That would have been 5 quick-fire points for him in the opening minute of the third. There's a whistle away from the ball handler. Syria only had 7 turnovers. 7 turnovers in that first half to China's 10, but 6 of those 7 for Syria came in the second quarter. All part of that big swing from a 9-point lead to a 9-point deficit. They're still better than their average of 14.8 turnovers per game, with just 7 in the first half. Al Haddad, the high entry pass was comfortably telegraphed by Zhou Qi in towards Al Hamwi. Zhou Qi out to the corner, 3-point shot will go. Largest lead of the game. Chao Rui, first double-digit advantage. And they've scored the first 5 points of the third quarter, China. Sheikh Ali, high off the window, gets it to fall. He had a positive start before going to the bench. Back in business, and so too is Syria, especially after China turned the ball over. Al-Jabi. Andrib calling for it and receiving it. Wants to go on the right-hand dribble, drive all the way through off the side of the backboard, in the end clatters into the advertising board. An offensive rebound grabbed by Al Hamwi, but then they lose it. Knocked away by Zhou Qi, wasn't it? Once again. That's his second steal. He continues to pad out that already impressive stat line. Abdou Shalamu across to this near side. Liu Zhuquan. Here goes Zhou Qi again, confronted by Al Hamwi as two big bodies collide in the paint. He wasn't going to let him dunk over the top of him again. I'll take the foul instead, thank you very much. That's his second personal. Started the game very well. Had a nice inside move against Zhou Qi, Al Hamwi, but he's only scored 2 of his 7 field goal attempts. He started shooting the ball further and further away from the basket the longer the first half went on. And Zhou Qi just keeps on firing from all angles. 10 points, the Chinese lead. Al Haddad. Al-Jabi. Al Hamwi to set the screen. Al-Jabi to try and work behind it. He then posts up in the centre. Al Hamwi one-on-one with Zhou Qi, who pushes him and commits China's second foul of the third quarter. The third personal on Zhou Qi. Al-Jabi off the inbound pass takes the quick 3 and misses it. Syria really struggling from downtown. And a burst all the way through and a foul from Sheikh Ali. And Syria are now just 2 of 12 from the outside for 16.7%. Given Zhou Qi's dominance inside, you feel they might have to light it up from downtown to have any chance down the stretch in this one. Instead, it's China hitting from long range. Zhou Qi doing a bit of everything. 20 points now. And an offensive foul against Syria away from the ball handler on the interior. China up by 13 and have possession. It has come off the rails for Coach Matic's team in this third quarter. Liu. Oh, Al-Jabi picking it off, looking to burst to the basket, getting the score and getting the contact. And in a flash, out of nowhere, Syria find their feet in the second half. Just when you thought China were going to put it beyond them. Up pops Tariq Al-Jabi to come up with another steal and a chance at a three-point play. And he completes it. He was only 1 of 9 from the field before that driving layup. Under pressure. It reduces a 13-point deficit, which had been the largest lead for China, down to 10. It forced the third foul on China as well. Syria already have 4, though, in this third quarter. We played less than 4 minutes of it. Wu Qian. Liu, back to Wu. Wu skips through a gap and he'll go to the line now. Showing patience and attacking from the perimeter right at the end of the shot clock. He misses the first, Wu. Nine of 13 from the line as a team now, China. He gets the second just about. Syria up to the foul limit already after just 4 minutes of this third quarter. Now Jabi. Adrib. Robbed to the ball. Turned right back over to Syria, though, if they can gather it, and they can. Al-Haddad throwing it down the line. It's out of bounds. And Syria, off the big hustle play, get possession. Still scrapping away and putting their bodies on the line. This is what it means to them. Just to be in these World Cup qualifiers in this second stage and have the chance to impress. You can see the disparity in the field goal percentages widening. Syria trying to cling on to China here in the third quarter. Al-Hamwi looking to attack Zhou Qi again, but called for a travel. And more often than not, it's Zhou Qi who's coming out on top in that battle. Al-Hamwi, after the positive start, has suffered and been in the descendancy ever since. Well, Jabi committing the foul, which will already send China to the stripe for 2 free throws, despite not reaching the midway point of the third quarter yet. And they might get a fair few more before this quarter is done. Making the foul shots count this time, Wu Qian. And the lead up to 13 again. Al-Haddad. Midway point of the third. Al-Haddad bounce pass down the baseline. Oh, the big stuff back wouldn't go down for Al-Hamwi. They should have really got it to go at the first attempt. They pass to the corner. Fang Shu makes them pay for those misses. Now Rib would feel he should have scored on the layup, and so too Al-Hamwi on the follow-up. And China showing them how it's done. Down the other end of the floor, clinical from the corner. And the three-pointer from Fang Shu And China up by 16, largest lead of the game.
有点这儿，这次要拿篮板了，你快点给我亮出来。他一拿球，这时候你走，对吧？如果没有在这次拿篮板，就那个谁，帮助是你没有我再去横接应，那么你能把球尽早给拿过来，就反击的时候，周琦从那边转过来，他是盯着你就先转来，转来你这弹出来上升多可以，没有了我打快球，再没有我打自由式挡拆，坚持着别松啊，别松。 还是32连防，32连防变，盯着我喊3次是换盯人，我喊32连防就是这个，明白吗？3次啊，3次啊，就是
Very big play.
شباب نلعب بلاد نلعب بلاد.
Two down also. Two down.
ما حدا يزود علينا.
Two down.
نلعب بروح وبقلب.
Forward, coach.
ينهار وان ينهار وان. يلا يا شباب. دافع منيح لا تروح تعبك في الهجوم.
Syria at 36, China 52, to the delight of those Chinese fans. 16 points the advantage now. And it's just starting to slip away from Syria. And they certainly can't afford to let the lead grow to too much more. Alosh, Harbasha. Right-hand drive into the paint, but he wasn't aware of the shot clock. Sheikh Ali. A violation and a turnover. And a chance for China to extend the advantage. It started so positively for them. Not a great deal of positivity around this arena now. Fang Shu working with Abdul Shalamu. Zhou Qi then manufacturing room on the perimeter and then grabbing the offensive rebound and getting fouled on his route to the rim. A couple of rebounds off a big double-double now. 20 points, 8 boards. That was his second offensive rebound. 3 blocks, 3 steals, 2 assists. An efficiency rating of 28 right now from Zhou Qi. He has, for the most part, recovered at the foul line as well, where he was 0 of 5 a couple of nights ago. He's 7 of 9 in this one. A big improvement. A man who had a huge 16 points and 14 rebounds in the final as China won the Asia Cup back in 2015 in Changsha. Hasn't played much for the national team since then. Bouncing into the lane and flipping it up off the window to score was Harbasha, who continues to impress. 9 points now for Syria. 15 points the gap. He's their leading scorer. Abdul Shalamu answers back quickly. Skipped through a gap and scored. 17 points the margin. And that's going to be the 4th foul on China in the quarter. And Chen Linjian. And Zhou Qi will go to the bench for a rest here. He's played 23.5 minutes of this one. 3rd foul on Chen. Harbasha around the screen, meandering dribble all the way through. Couldn't score though. Offensive rebound again. Harbasha thought about the 3, gets inside, drives the baseline, hands it off to Adrib, and he gets hit and will go to the line for 2. It's the energy again that Harbasha is bringing. A real live wire here. Here's 9 points coming in 14.5 minutes, along with 2 steals on just his 2nd appearance in this campaign. And very nearly had an assist there. Might have had one had Adrib been able to handle the first pass. Syria just 8 of 14 from the line. Make it 8 of 15. And they desperately need each and every one of those points. And they're all going to take 2. On this occasion with Tofek Seller. There was a foul on China to take them to the limit on that second free throw attempt from Adrib. So Tofek Salah gets there for 2, and he's not missed a shot in the game yet. He has now. 3 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. .16 points the gap, final 3 minutes of the third. Wu driving in, bounce pass. Stripped to the ball though, China. And here comes Syria in transition, 3 on 3. An extra man arriving as well. China getting back well and blocking the passing lanes. Fang Shu, bounce pass to the corner. Wu open, closed down quickly. They'll try and move it around to find the free man. Syria shuffling their feet as well. It goes inside. The pass out to the near triple team. They do find the room to operate. The shot off the mark though for Abdul Shalamu. Syria survived that quick Chinese passing. And that would have been perhaps the team highlight of the game had they been able to convert from long range there. Nadim Issa. Harbasha. Harbasha into the lane, dishes it off. Salah, he'll go back to the line for another 2. Again, everything coming through Harbasha though for Syria. Finding Salah again. He split his last pair of free throws just a few moments ago. They're now shooting just 50% from the line as a team, 9 of 18. He does get the second to go. So the gap is 15 with 12 minutes to play. And they're still close enough, but they're not scoring points frequently enough, just 40 over the first 28 minutes, Syria. It would take something special even with this amount of time remaining. Fang Shu. Across to the far side, China threatening a 3 again, move it on to the man lurking on the baseline, Abdul Shalamu. Both teams at the foul limit in this third quarter. It's been a stop-start third, China holding off Syria after that burst towards the start of the quarter, opening up a sizable advantage. Altogether, it's a 9-18 third quarter in China's favour. They miss a couple from the stripe, though. Syria's outside shooting has been their big problem. They've not hit one since the opening minutes. They were 2 of 4 from long range to start, and they've missed 8 in a row since. And they turn it over there. You feel in this position, with this margin against this team, and the struggles that they're having, they need to hit a couple in a row from the outside just to stand a chance. At some stage, still plenty of time to do that. Cho Rui across to the far side. Instead, it's China knocking down the big outside shot. Fang Shu again. He's hit both of his attempts from downtown, 8 points now. It's an 18-point lead. Final minute of the third. Alosh getting bumped towards the baseline. Rui with the foul. And Syria go to the stripe. Just trying their very best to stay close enough to keep it interesting. And this has been one of their major downfalls, though. Everybody missing from the line. Sharif Alosh's first trip there, and he misses the first. It's the second, though. Now 11 of 20 from the stripe, just 55%. 17 points the gap. Zhou Qi back on the floor for China. Cross-court pass was tipped and saved, balancing on the baseline. Great defensive play. Can Syria get a field goal here in the final seconds of the third quarter? And there's nominal differential. So they'll hold it for the final shot. Alosh into the lane, forced away by the presence of Zhou Qi, shoots the fadeaway and beats the buzzer. A lifeline for Syria heading into the fourth. Sharif Alosh coming up with a big shot for them. And definitely keeping it interesting. It's a 15-point margin heading into the final quarter. A few smiles put back on a few faces around this arena, and one there on the face of one of the most important men in the building. Syria closing the gap to 15 points against China, 43-58 at the end of the third. Welcome back to this arena in Lebanon. Syria 43, China 58, 15 points the gap. China shooting a much better percentage inside and out now. Both teams only 65% from the foul line. Syria start the fourth quarter with the ball. Step back three-pointer open and hit by Magtar Basha. They're not done and dusted just yet. Syria with the perfect start to the fourth, close the gap to 12 points. China to try and respond, that's a heartbreaker. They answer straight back with one of their own. Fang Shu on fire from the outside, 3 of 3. It's a 15-point margin again. Trying to drive at Zhou Qi down the runway, but losing it on the dribble was Salah, and it's going to be a shot clock violation in the end. Zhou Qi. And a foul. Going down the floor in transition all the way through to finish, Nadim Issa. After it slipped between the hands of Liu Jiquan. 13 points the difference, 8.5 minutes or so to play. Syria needs some defensive stops to try and build a little bit of momentum, something they've struggled to do at any point. Instead, Zhou Qi scores again. He just keeps on coming at them. 23 points now for Zhou Qi. Syria haven't had momentum since the start of the second quarter, despite their very best efforts. Points have been at a premium since then. Zhou Qi is there to block off Salah, who gets it back. He'll come right back at him again at the end of the shot clock, but throws it over the basket. 23 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks and 3 steals for Zhou Qi now. The number 15 has helped China back ahead by 15. And here he is again in the high post, moving it on. Outside shot once more. Fang Shu on fire. 4 of 4 from downtown. 13 points for him now. Well, that one has gone down as a 2-pointer, in fact, but it was near enough a 3. Trying to lead by 17. He had toes on the line as he took it on. Long range 2. Off the mark from Alosh. There he is again, Fang Shu. High pass somehow find its way through to Zhou Qi. Over the top of 2 players trying to cut it out. Pinpoint precision. You have to feel it is out of reach for Syria now with only around 6.5 minutes to play, but they will keep on battling. Harbasha taking the ring road around the defense. Here's Salah over the top of Zhou Qi. Got it to drop with the soft touch finish. Off the mark from the corner from Zhou Qi, and an offensive rebound for Liu Jiquan. "17 points the gap. Bounce pass from Yu, floated home from Zhou Qi. 25 points. In fact, 27. Too many to count almost now. 19 the lead for China. And his stat line getting more and more unbelievable. We'll double check that in a few moments because we saw 29 points up on the screen. I've got 27 on my monitor. So we'll confirm, of course, when things update in a few moments. I'm sure there'll be a few more. Zhou Qi grabbing that loose ball as well. Still yet to complete the double-double. Plenty of time to do so. Shifted nicely to the corner. Another 3-point shot. Lai Meng this time getting in on the act. China bursting away. They have found their flow and they have found their range from the outside. Now 9 of 20. 45%. And Syria continue to struggle, just 3 of 14. Midway point of the final quarter. They'll take on another 3, 2 in a row for Lai Meng in no time at all. China lighting it up from downtown. 25 points the lead they have burst away and left Syria biting their dust. He's only come into the game for the last 2 minutes. Lai Meng, and he's hit 2 threes already. Making just his second appearance of the campaign, only played 2.5 minutes on his first. Now Jabi. Another 3 for Syria, another miss from the outside. Rebound grabbed by Che, quick release down the floor as well. Bounce pass, cutting all the way through. And missing the shot at the end of it was Che, who played the initial pass. And ran the floor so quickly. Well, that was rebound number 10 for Zhou Qi, so the double-double.
Try to do that we know what we are playing. If you are set a 3, not shot from a 10 meter. Try pick and roll every time, 2 pick and roll. I said 2 pick and roll. One coming down, one coming up. Pass, run, another one, run. Look from this, then again, pick and roll. We will find open shot. Open shot, everything is down now.
那么小川，你给我这儿，这侧发球啊，小川你就是周进罗另外一侧电梯，对。哪边发球？这边发球。他下掩护，他出来，你就在这儿了。你横掩护，周琦，完了你做这个，好不好？电梯。他在底下。谁也不许做错了，电梯。没有了，我来吃，你先球，你先球。
Oh, even off the hop, it's going down. Another score from the outside. Lai Meng and Fang Shu lighting it up. Now Jabi. Passing lane blocked off. That last basket called a long 2, so it's a 27-point advantage. That one's certainly a 3, though. Zhou Qi firing from all distances and angles. That'll make it a 30-point game for him. 30 points, 10 rebounds. I make it now 4 blocks and 4 steals as well. A phenomenal, searing hot performance against Syria. China's lead is 30. Their main man has 30. Bounce pass into Al-Hamwi. A bit of frustration and anger as he throws that one down after a frustrating day. Nice pump fake to get Che up in the air. And left him with the open dunk. Thrown over the top of the hoop by Go, the 19-year-old who's come in for the final moments. El Haddad around the screen of Al Hamwi. Off-balance shot, difficult, not beyond the baseline, still Syrian possession. Still some way to go for Zhou Qi to record the biggest scoring game in this campaign. Raguna for Korea had 43 points against Hong Kong back last summer. We've had 3 40-plus point games, Raguna with 2 of them. What we don't have access to is the tournament high in terms of efficiency, which Zhou Qi may well be closing in on, because it's an all-round stat line from him. 32 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks, 4 steals for a 42 efficiency rating. Final 3 minutes of this one. Another 3-point shot, got it. Jae Seo Chuan. China pouring in the points from long range here in the second half. 12 of 24 from downtown now for 50%. 31 the lead, 2.5 minutes to play. Al Hamwi calling for it, receiving it, and a foul as Fu Han grabbed hold of him. Al Jabi looking back out to the perimeter. Al Haddad scooping it up, missing the tip over the top of the basket as well. A second bite of the cherry perhaps for Al Hamwi, and it was forced in eventually. He's had a bit more joy over the last couple of minutes, Al Hamwi. Getting a bit more joy now with Zhou Qi off the court. .7 rebounds and a block for him. Only 3 of 10 from the field. He hits one from the line for the first time. It's another 3-pointer here. It won't go for Jae Seo Chuan for the second time in quick succession. Well, it's comfortable now for China. It didn't look like it was going to be that way over the first 20 minutes. Syria were clinging in there, scrapping and clawing their way into contention. China have shown their quality and their class in the second half, though. It's already a 46-point second half for China. Syria, in stark contrast, have scored just 22. Al Haddad, one of a number of Syrian players who started full of positivity. Nazarian in for the first time, making just his second appearance in this campaign, wearing the number 6. The shot off the mark from Al Jabi. China's still full of energy, running the floor, going all the way through and getting the score with the contact, Che Xiao Chuan. Desperate to recover from a personal point of view, having gone 0 of 6 from the field in Jordan on Friday when he scored just 1 point. He's come in and left his mark on this fourth quarter. Eight points now. And he's done his damage down the stretch. .35 is the gap with less than a minute and a half to play. Al-Hamwi looking to volley his way to the basket. Had the ball knocked away though. Fuha releasing it down the floor. And getting back was Ziab Al-Shawak, who's not played at all until this moment right at the end. Still Chinese possession as we approach the final minute. Just a reminder, there's a couple of huge games to come still to conclude Group E here in the second stage of these Asian qualifiers. And it goes to Al-Hamwi. He gets fouled. Coming up in around 2 hours' time, Jordan against New Zealand and Lebanon against Korea. New Zealand and Korea, the two away sides in those games, already qualified, but Jordan will pip Lebanon to the third automatic qualification spot in the group for the World Cup if they can beat New Zealand, who've only lost once through the whole campaign. If they don't beat New Zealand and Lebanon get a win against Korea, then Lebanon will take that third spot. If both teams lose, it will be Jordan ahead of Lebanon, who would have to hope to then be the best fourth place team across the two groups. Go Hawen, the 19-year-old, across to the far side. Three-point shot rims out. And then a foul against Lai Meng. 41.5 seconds remaining. China by 33. He'll be much happier with the improvement since the break. They've surpassed the half-century mark in scoring in this second half. 21 points in the third quarter, 30 points here in the fourth for China. Altogether, it's a 51-24 second half for China over Syria. And they're led by just 6 points at half-time. Syria started with plenty of energy and belief, scoring 18 points to win the first quarter by 6. They've failed to score more than 13 points in any of quarters 2, 3 and 4. Might well be the final shot of this qualification campaign here for Syria. Al Haddad. Al-Hamwi trying to create some space on the pick and roll, gets inside, dunks it halfway down, back out again and back in. They finish with a dunk. Well, that was in. And then it wasn't. And then it was. That'll do it. China, the hosts, finish with a win in the qualifying campaign. And they will, of course, be in China in September on home soil at the World Cup. Syria will not, but they put in a spirited performance to finish, having lost by 49 points the previous meeting between these two. They lose this one by 31, and they kept it with China for the first two periods before China pulled away with a massive second half. 53 second half points altogether, to the delight of those that came a long way with them. And there'll be considerably more to cheer them on at the tournament finals themselves in September. China will finish 7-5 in qualifying. Might well be a very different team that competes at the World Cup proper in a few months' time. They knew their place was already secure as the host nation. Syria have come a really long way over the course of this campaign. An achievement to get to the second stage of qualifying, although in the end they win just 2 games out of 12, both of them coming against India back in the first stage. Plenty of development though, plenty of exposure, and plenty of positivity surrounding the programme altogether. The final score, Syria 59, China 90. A massive 25 turnovers in the end for Syria. China still had 16, but 9 fewer than their hosts in this one. And the Chinese quality came through in the second half after a pretty poor shooting performance in the first half. But they rose to 54% inside and 48% shooting from downtown with their performance in the second half. And how about the stat line for Zhou Qi? 32 points to lead all scorers in this one. It was part of a huge double-double performance. 32 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks, 4 steals, 2 assists, and just the 1 turnover. An efficiency rating of 42 as we see the Group E standings as they are. Syria at the bottom, 2-10. China up to 3rd, although their place will not count in terms of the final deliberation of the standings. It's all about whether it's Lebanon now or Jordan who make it through as the 3rd automatic qualifying team to the World Cup in China, along with Korea and New Zealand from this group. We'll turn our attentions to those 2 games in around 2 hours' time. But this one was just something to whet the appetite for the drama that is to come in Group A, and China have won it by 31 points on the road in Lebanon against Syria. Syria 59, China 90. It's been a pleasure having your company for it. We'll see you for those later games.